Hello, amigos and foes. Jack Willard here with a short video. It's a follow-up video, really, to one that we did a few weeks ago that now has over 10,000 views. I thank you for that. We call this one, What If Spa Guy Talked to the Other Bob Joyce? Most of you know that a while back, Spa Guy posted a video entitled, I believe this is the title, Bob Joyce isn't Elvis. I asked him. And what he did is he went right up to the front door of Bob Joyce's house in Benton, Arkansas, knocked, and the pastor himself opened the door. Now, Spa Guy was respectful in the sense that he held the camera down. You could see the socks of Pastor Bob Joyce. Apparently he had been napping. His hair was a little disheveled, and he wanted to have permission before he would film Pastor Bob's face, and he didn't get that. So what happened is he kind of chatted with him for a little bit, and then he gave him the answer to the question. He says, just want to check, you're not Elvis, right? You're not Elvis. And the pastor said, No, I'm not. And we can't see his face, but we could feel a sense of regret that he said that in his voice, so much so he felt he had to explain further. He said, basically, and this is all a paraphrase, but it's close, he said, look, God gave me dreams to reach the world. God gave me dreams, and that's what he does on YouTube since 2011. He's not a private person. He's a public person who ministers all over the world via YouTube. And the Bible does say that your young men will see visions and your old men will dream dreams. So that was about it. That was the video. For the most part. It didn't go on much longer after that. And, the thing that always bothered me the most about that Spa Guy video is that Pastor Bob Joyce himself opened the door. That didn't seem right to me. Now, I have heard before that people think Pastor Bob lives in one place, in one house, but he actually lives in another house. I have seen pictures of what people think is the house where he actually lives. It's 2 stories. It's gated, but in the picture I saw, the gate was open, and sitting in front was a black SUV that looked very much like the one we have seen at Graceland, the video where it appears that Bob Joyce is, after chatting with people and even posing for a picture at the front door of Graceland with what we are pretty sure is Lisa Marie next to him, he comes down and eventually he looks in the back of the SUV. Eventually he gets in the passenger side of the SUV and is driven away. It's very fuzzy video. His beard does look a little thicker than we are used to. Doesn't look like the gardener, who has the Kenny Rogers look as well. Many people confuse the gardener with Bob Joyce. He's not there raking the leaves at Graceland, but people say what they say. So, came across some new pictures of who I think is Robert Wayne Joyce, not the same man, and we posted them in this video that you can see right here. You should really check this one out. On occasion, a Bob Joyce who looks different appears. And as I say, over 10,000 have checked it out, and I appreciate that so much. I appreciate you so much, whether you're friend or foe. Some people don't agree with me, but they still watch the videos, and I'm very thankful for that. So we ran across these new pictures, and one of them is a thumbnail to that video. On occasion, a Bob Joyce who looks different appears. And we've been talking about the two Bob Joyce theories since 2018 in videos like The Verdict. We show more pictures of Robert Wayne Joyce, both young and old. When he was young, he didn't look anything like Elvis Presley. Here he is with a young Willina. Here he is with a young Willina. Not long after they were married in Texas in 1975. There's no way that guy could have been Elvis Presley there. Elvis either reportedly just died or he was still active when this particular picture was taken. He did not suddenly morph into Elvis Presley. The man I just showed you, I believe, is the biological father of Matt, Sabrina, and Tom Joyce. And as I say, married in 1975. This man right here would be about 71 years old now, 71 years of age. And so we showed you these new pictures. Now, recently, my buddy from North Carolina sent me a picture that is the thumbnail, if you want a better look, because I know we have glare issues when I go to my phone. I understand that. I can't always wait to get it to Google Photos. I will eventually show it via Google Photos, but this is the thumbnail for our live show that we did. We did it just last night, Worldwide Ramblings. We did it at 11 o'clock. It's the show from the 9th of March, 2024. Just go to the Virtual Church of the Disillusioned. You're probably already here. And click on the live portion, and you'll see the thumbnail, which will be better quality than what I'm going to show you. The name of the live show is, well, first I say live. I always want to let people know that you are watching something that was done live, even if you're watching the replay. And it's singing about the trip to Bob Joyce's church. And in that video, we talk about the song Little Church in Arkansas by the duo Lost Lindsay. Lost Lindsay. And you're going to want to watch that live show. Yes. So here is what my buddy from North Carolina sent me, which is the thumbnail to that live show. You can get a much better look at it there. But here it is. I understand the glare issues. You see patchy red spots on his nose, on his face, and on his neck. On his neck. People were saying that's Bob Joyce before he gets the makeup to come out and preach. A lot of blotchiness. I don't think it's a sunburn, but who knows? Who knows? But that picture is making the rounds right now. And the thing I want you to notice about this picture, and I'm going to show you another one, is his teeth. Is his teeth. There's a gap in the middle. There's a gap in the middle. You've seen that gap, right? And here's another picture that shows the gap in the middle of his upper set of teeth, and it also shows his age. Lots of crow's feet. We've talked about Botox, and if he should be on Botox, you can only get it about every 3 months. As you get near the next treatment, the wrinkles come back. I've seen this happen before my eyes, and I'm not on Botox. But there's the gap in the middle of his upper teeth, right? Is that his real hair? Does he wear a piece that blends in to his own hair? That's another thing that has been discussed intensively. Now, I told you about those pictures, and we show pictures on the video on occasion. Bob Joyce, who looks different, appears. Here is, thank God, a Google photo. I know you get sick, especially some of you, of the glare on when I hold up my phone. Here is Robert Wayne Joyce, I believe. I speak of possibilities. I could be wrong about the whole thing. That was a dramatic pause in case they wanted to put a commercial in. And by the way, I hope you'll watch those ads that Google puts in there. That helps me too. Watch them, okay? Here is another picture of Robert Wayne Joyce, I believe, not the man who pastors, I believe, at Household of Faith every week. There is no gap. There is no gap on those front teeth. And more than that, folks, you don't have to be Columbo here. You just have to look into his eyes. Look into his eyes. And I think you should be able to tell that that's another man. That's another man. He has the Kenny Rogers look. Yes, he does. But the eyes tell it all, and there's no gap in those teeth. There's no gap. And we show other pictures in the video. On occasion, a Bob Joyce who looks different appears. Now, if I were to take a poll based on your reaction in that video, I would say about 1/3 agree with me and say definitively that that is a different man. I have some good sources, you know. I'm very blessed. I told you probably as far back as the verdict. Certainly I've done it in more than one video where a source from, well, I won't even give the state, way down the road from Arkansas, let's put it that way. Everybody travels a long distance, it seems, to get there. I told this story a long time ago. They came to Household of Faith bearing a beautiful gift. 3 people in the car, 3 people in attendance, or maybe more now that I think about it. They brought him a beautiful guitar. And this person told me that, and they went more than once, and they even participated in a special way. Enough said. They told me one of the times they went, and this is when the church was in the strip mall, there was a luncheon scheduled for after the service. They do that sometimes. You know, when we hear Bob Joyce sing Can't Help Falling in Love, that was after a luncheon where they went back into the sanctuary, and he said, "This is for my wife," and he played and sang Can't Help Falling in Love, and he sounded very much like Elvis Presley. Someone had requested that he not do that. You know, those conspiracy theorists. I only have one conspiracy if I'm a conspiracy theorist. I don't believe in any of the others, you know. But this is a fascinating topic with now over, I don't know, 60 plus coincidences. And we outline them in the verdict 1, 2, and other videos, all right? So they stayed around for the luncheon after hearing the same man who always preaches on camera, I believe possibly 89-year-old now, Bob Joyce, always the one you see on camera, who looks, let's face it, very much like Elvis and sounds very much like Elvis. Those who say that he does not are either Elvis protectors or not very perceptive. And you need perception, and you need perception in this topic. Don't stick with your opinion if right in front of your face is the evidence. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, in this particular case, there was a luncheon, and here comes Pastor Bob Joyce. And, he would have changed clothes by now. That's understandable, perhaps. And everybody, the regulars in the church all know him and are accepting him and love him. But she was astonished because it wasn't the same man. She said she thought she was going crazy, and some of you would say she was. I understand. You want to stick to your opinion. But that was a different Bob Joyce. Much more recently than that, another very reliable source. This is not one of the, tinfoil hat, everybody I like, fake their death crowd. That is not this. This is someone that I correspond with on a regular basis. I may get to visit with them at some point in the future, and she told me that they've been a few times. One of those times early on, when they went into the foyer of the church, standing there was a man who looked like Pastor Bob Joyce, maybe his younger brother, his much younger brother. And he looked very nervous and out of place. And I don't know if they said much at all to him, but he wanted to leave, and he left out the front door. Seconds later, as they entered the sanctuary, here comes out another door, Pastor Bob Joyce. The one that they know very well, that is going to preach the service and sing and what have you. So I pose the question to this source, who I trust in, is this the man you saw when you first came into Household of Faith? And she said, yes, that's him. Absolutely, that's him. No gap there. Lighting, by the way, can make eye color look different. Elvis had blue eyes, not brown eyes. That's what the internet sources say. He had blue eyes. But in some lighting, they look brown. They look brown. Others talk about the scars and the veins and the broken pinky, etc. That's not really my area. I've never been interested in it for some reason. There are people that do that better than me. But this man here, if you look into his eyes, you should be able to tell that that is not the man who preaches every Sunday at Household of Faith, not the man we've been showing you in other photos. And a younger version of that man, perhaps 71 years old, that man. So I won't say that I've done enough of this, that I would never talk on it again, because something else can happen, different pictures can happen, but I'm not going to belabor the point. Everyone has a right to their own opinion. I just would say, if you were ever going to be a detective, you'd have to have certain skills that you would have to put your own personal biases aside, and you would have to say, well, I have to say there's something there. I can see it because I have eyes that work and what have you. So there you go. That's our video this time around. We have a lot of fun here, even when we disagree and what have you, and I'm so grateful, and as much as I have tried to walk away from this topic, it has become clear to me that this is the story that keeps on giving. It continues to fascinate the masses, and when I try to talk about things like our world is melting, they say, well, we'll watch Tucker for that. We'll watch Bill O'Reilly for that. They'll have, more video and stuff on what's going on. And I get it. I have to stay in my lane, I suppose. But I do try to talk about other things nevertheless, and I appreciate that when you watch those videos as well. My personal email is jackthefairguy, F-A-I-R, jackthefairguy @gmail.com. Big God bless you. Bye-bye.